voters will be asked to consider the passage of Issue 2, an issue with language that will require the state of Ohio to not pay more for prescription drugs than the price paid by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs. Currently, the VI is given a mandatory discount of 24% on medication purchases. For comparison, the state of Ohio has its own discount of 23.1%, a less than 1% difference. Unlike the VI in Ohio, however, this issue means something different to residents of Bowling Green who will be walking into the ballot box. The language of the issue mentions only one entity covered by the cost reduction, the state of Ohio. What this means is any purchase of medication by Ohio, not an Ohian, will be subject to the mandatory discount. This classification only includes state agencies, including the Ohio Department of Medicaid. It will not include Ohians on private insurance. The bottom line is about 2/3 of Ohians will be directly unaffected by the issue. Dale Butland, communications director for Ohians Against the Deceptive RX ballot issue, which campaigns for the no vote, mentioned cost shifting as a reason to vote against the issue. There is no way of telling how much individual cost will go up, he said during a phone interview. What you can say is that if you tell a company, whether that company makes drugs, TVs or automobiles, that they have to sell their product at a lower price, what happens to prices to everyone else? That's the cost shifting. It is an economic principle in which an entity sells a product to one person at a higher price because another person bought it at a lower price. There is no such thing as a free lunch, he said. Everybody pays. Dennis Willard, a spokesperson for the Yes on Issue 2 campaign, views things a little differently. If Ohio passes this, he posits, what are the other 7 or 8 million people going to do? He answered himself, saying they will demand the same discount, and private insurers will look to put pressure on the drug companies to give them the same price. So will prices go up or down? It will all depend on the reactions from both people and drug companies. If not the people, will the state save money? That is another point of contention between the two campaigns. An often quoted number for proponents of the issue is that the state will save $400 million should the issue be adopted. This number comes from a Yes campaign-funded report by Maxwell Melman, director of the Law Medicine Center at Case Western Reserve University School of Law. Patrick Murray, of the Metro Health Center's Center for Healthcare Research and Policy, revised that estimate to somewhere between $164 million and $536 million. Butland pointed to the official Ohio Budget and Management fiscal analysis of Issue 2, saying the saving will be, more realistically, lower. The documents say savings from Medicaid, the largest of the affected programs, are unlikely. It cites the 23.1% discount that Ohio already receives from drug companies and rebate money going back to a federal level for its estimation. The amount of savings is determined by the thesis of Issue 2, how much the VI pays for medication. Discounts of 24% and 23.1% are just the tip of the savings the VI and the state get. Each builds on their discounts by negotiating private contracts to lower the price even more. Those contracts, as stated in the OBM statement, negotiated by the VI are considered confidential per the terms of the agreements with drug manufacturers. This confidentiality means the final prices are harder and, in some cases, impossible to find. Therefore, savings estimates are primarily unconfirmed estimates. At the end of the savings debate is what happens to any money saved. The no campaign wages the savings would be put back into the state for administrative costs tied to the bill. The Yes campaign has a more favorable view that the state would use the saved money to boost social programs and local government funds. The last point of contention between the Yes and No campaigns is the second half of the issue's text. The full second paragraph of the issue is dedicated to upholding the issue should it become law. Unprecedented in other issues is the text establishing the petitioner's direct and personal stake in defending the law and requirement of the state to pay petitioners reasonable attorney fees and other expenses. What is reasonable for a California attorney may not be reasonable for the Ohio state taxpayer, said Butland.